Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat Podcast. Today it's episode 145 where we're going to be running through our full 2023-24 Premier League predictions. Now we'll get onto that full table. Shall we start with a few little fun predictions? The little ones, the ones that we probably would have forgotten by the end of the season. The ones that, I don't know, a bit of fun. The first of which, the first manager to be sacked. Often a contentious point. The first manager to lose their job in the season. Who are you going to say is going to get sacked first, Harry?
Well, there's quite a few options of managers that probably shouldn't be in the Premier League or are really going to struggle this year.
Yeah.
And there's also a couple that are kind of rumoured to be going out the door already. Some are obviously highly predicted to be sacked very early on. I've gone for one that probably makes a little bit of sense right now, but will make a lot of sense once we get into my tail prediction.
Okay.
I've gone for Julian Lopetegui.
Ooh. The thing is with this, usually we'd be able to go like, oh, it's going to be the team that struggles. But with Julian Lopetegui, apparently he is considering his role at Wolves. He might just leave. Like, that's a massive problem, no? For Wolves.
Yeah, but I think it's not going to... He might just leave now, but I think what my tail prediction might... he might not leave by himself.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. I have gone for David Moyes. Because I think in a similar sort of position to Julian Lopetegui, may well leave. Apparently he's at war with the technical director at West Ham. They've not brought in a single signing at the time of recording. By the time that's gone out, they've already signed 10 players. But James Ward-Prowse still fell through. They're not spending the Rice money. There's a lot of unhappiness there. I think if they go into the season with their current side as well, they're going to really struggle. They've got two senior central midfielders.
Yeah.
Thomas Souček and Flynn Downs. That's it. So I don't know how West Ham are going to succeed this season. I don't see where that's going to come from. For me, David Moyes will be the first to be sacked. But then I think potentially they could save that second half of the season with a good January window and a new manager. So, yeah. Anyway, first manager to be sacked, then you're going... I'm going David Moyes.
Yeah.
Up next, signing of the season. This isn't who we think at the start of the season has been the best signing. This is who we think, come the end of the season, people will be looking back and, calling it a fantastic addition. Who are you going for, Harry?
Now, again, there's a lot of options, obviously. A lot of players have been signed. I think there's a few shouts in there. But again, mine is kind of based on the fact of history, in terms of how we've seen this kind of happen before. And I think also the result, again, of this team in the table. I've gone for Manchester City's new centre-half, Josko Gvardiol. And the reason I've done this is because, remember Ruben Diaz? When he first came in, City won the league. And he got either the year after he joined or the year he joined. He got Player of the Year.
He got Champions League Defender of the Year. He got PFA Player of the Year.
And so I think City. Let's be honest, they're going to be near the top. You can probably guess where we put
probably.
But I think that he's going mega season nonetheless. I think he'll deserve it. I do think he'll deserve it. Probably replacing either Akanji or Walker in the back three. Back three for Pep's weird defensive system. But I think he's had a really good season. I think he's a great pickup and should flourish in the sky blue of City.
Fair enough. I think he would do really well. My only criticism would be, I think when you look at a signing of the season, it tends to be someone that you'll look back and go, that's an absolute bargain. I don't think no matter how good Gvardiol is, they'll look back at 80 million as a bargain. Because while it's a very good fee for him, I think that they're not getting ripped off. He is a very, very good player. I don't think anyone will ever look at it as a bargain.
My other concern is obviously it is quite hard sometimes for defenders to get signing of the season awards and things like that. Yeah. So usually they go to the guys.
Not that it's an actual award, it's just a theoretical thing. But I can understand. The general consensus won't be about a defender doing well. I've gone for someone who will catch the eye a bit more. I've gone for a striker. Chelsea new signing, Nicholas Jackson. I think a lot of people thought Jackson would be coming in as a backup this season, and potentially still will be, because Dusan Vlahovic is still linked with a move to Stamford Bridge. But I think he could get some starting minutes, and around, was it £30 million, I want to say?
Yeah.
Maybe just a bit above £30 million. No, not the Vlahovic deal, the Nicholas Jackson deal. For me, I think, around that £30 million mark, that's going to be a bargain. I think come the end of the season, if he notches up around that 10-goal mark, maybe just over that 10-goal mark in the league, gets a couple as well in cups as well, I just think he could really exceed expectations, do really well for Chelsea, and potentially even start. Especially if Vlahovic doesn't join, I'll make him the starting number 9. But so I think he'll do really well. Top goal scorer for the season, and this one's a bit more easy because his name is going to rhyme with I can't think of anything that would rhyme with the player we're going for. Who is your top
You'd be
scorer?
brain dead to not say Erling Haaland. I think the main question isn't who, it's how many. Now, obviously, last year he got 36 in 38 games.
To be fair, I think it was only 37 because he didn't play one match.
Oh,
so almost a goal a game.
So I'm going to go Erling Haaland with 40 goals.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Have you gone higher than me?
The only question I have around Haaland is he has been injury prone in the past. While he avoided injuries last season, there's every chance he picks up an injury. I'm not stupid enough not to have gone for him. I just do worry that if he picks up an injury, potentially he won't get the golden boot. I am still going to back him though. I think he'll score 41.
Oh, you've outbid
me. I have just outdone you there. I think he's only going to get better, isn't he? He's already a fantastic footballer. He's going to clean up awards for forever, really. But yeah, I just think he's going to score, isn't he? That's a guarantee at this point. But yeah, top assister then. Presumably it's also going to be from Man City because if Haaland's scoring 40 odd, we're going to need an assister that's assisting the similar rate.
I haven't.
Ooh, controversial.
I might look like a bit of an idiot. Obviously, as you say, KDB got it last year with 16 assists. I've gone for someone who's, I think, slightly lower than that on 14 assists. I've gone Liverpool's new man, Alexis McAllister.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a rogue one, I know, but
if Liverpool are fighting right up at the sharp end again,
a lot of these obviously awards are going to relate to how well I think the team will do in the table. I don't really know this one. I just think he's going to have a good season. He looked very good at Brighton, and obviously for me, he's now got Núñez and Salah and Jota and Diaz to play the ball
Gakpo
to.
As well.
And also got no Mitoma and Ferguson and whoever else were good in their own right, but playing a ball into Mo Salah is a bit different than playing a ball into Danny Welbeck.
And often last season, maybe he'd have to drop a little deeper into the midfield role, whereas we expect him to be one of two creative midfielders there for Liverpool. So you'd think he'll be involved in the final third a lot. I just don't know if they'll score a high enough volume and whether he'll assist enough to be able to really compete for that.
Well, but we'll see.
Yeah, we certainly will. I think for Liverpool as well, a lot of their creativity comes through Trent Alexander-Arnold. So if we're going to look at anyone getting high assist numbers, I think it's more likely to be Trent, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Alex McAllister maybe some. I also worry about him making that step up. I'm not 100%. I think he's a fantastic footballer, and I'm really hoping he does well.
Proof to me that he's one of the best in the world.
One of the best in the world.
I think he is. Okay. I think he is. I rate him very highly.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not a Liverpool fan before people start attacking me.
Top assister, I've gone for Phil Foden. I really rate Phil Foden. I know he may not be starting every single match, but I think if he can get a good run of game time in the early part of the season, he may do well enough to convince Guardiola to start him every game. I think he'll pick up around 14 assists. So
I saw people point out that it is now an angry Pep Guardiola against Burnley.
Yeah, I was going to say
Burnley could hold
10-0,
yeah. So
I just think if Haaland's going to score 41, City players are going to have to create some. I would have put De Bruyne, but that's boring. He got it last year. And we haven't seen De Bruyne get injured before, as you say. I do worry about the rotation with Foden, but given the fact that Mahrez has just left, that definitely frees up more minutes in that side.
Not like the majority one starting.
You would expect that
probably
as well.
Grealish and Foden will be for me.
And there's still an opportunity that Bernardo Silva doesn't stay this season. He's still linked with move away. So while Kovacic may come in and play a lot of minutes in that midfield role, there is a chance Foden plays there. So there's options for Foden, definitely. There's options for City. Potentially we see a lot more of Phil Foden. I hope so, because he proved last season he's a magical footballer. You've just got to give him minutes. Didn't start the Community Shield final, so he must not start any other games this season. Same with Ederson, really.
Oh, obviously,
Putting Ortega everyone in your FPL teams.
Definitely.
Should we go on to Golden Glove?
Yes.
Because this was won by David De Gea last season.
And I think I'm going to get attacked.
Manchester United kept 17 clean sheets with De Gea in between six.
Did do that.
What's that? I think it was 17, maybe 16.
Now, this is a very rogue one. I've gone for another Spanish goalkeeper. And so I've gone... So Chelsea kept 10 clean sheets last year with Kepa Arrizabalaga as their goalkeeper.
But also, Kepa didn't keep 10, did he? Presumably Mendy would have kept some as well because
that's my point. I think Robert Sanchez joining Chelsea, I'm taking a punt that he is going to start over Kepa and do well. I don't see a way Kepa starts.
Well, actually, up until that United game, Chelsea was sat as the third lowest conceding team of the season. I think only City and Newcastle had conceded less.
Yeah.
I think that United game where we conceded 4-0 dropped us a little bit. But still a really good season defensively. They don't ship many, Chelsea, and I think Pochettino's sides, as we've seen in the past, don't tend to ship a load of goals either.
I think with Sanchez in goal and then a back five of Chilwell, Badiashile, back four, of Chilwell, Badiashile, Silva and Reece James, with rotations of Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, Gusto and Cucurella.
Yeah.
I've said Robert Sanchez to keep 15 clean sheets.
Ooh, fair enough, yeah.
Lower than De Gea's last year, but I think the goals are going to flow this year for most teams.
I'm expecting the same. I've only gone 14 clean sheets. I think the Golden Glove will go to Andre Onana.
No, I was going to put Onana, but I knew everyone put Onana and it would be different.
The biggest thing with Onana is he won't be rotated. If Man City have pissed the league, they may play Ortega for a couple of league games.
Yeah.
If Chelsea aren't happy with Sanchez, there'll be rotation in there potentially. With Liverpool, there won't.
This is my
but I don't trust Liverpool's defence.
I think City will concede. They've shown that. Liverpool will concede. Aaron Ramsdale is going to concede mostly every game, I think. Yeah. And at the moment, it's between Fraser Forster and a guy from Empoli.
Vicario is not a terrible goalkeeper, but I think it's always going to be close. So I think Liverpool will be on 13. I think Arsenal will be on 13. I think Sanchez may be around the same sort of number. I don't think Ederson will be far off either because City don't ship many goals. I just think that I don't think it'll go to a City goalkeeper because we see City concede a silly one every now and then. Yeah. I think Liverpool would have been my most likely guess, but because United won last year, I think they're really well set up defensively.
Yeah.
I think Onana will be able to get that this year.
All right.
And the fact there's no rotation possibility there.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah. Andre Onana then for Golden Glove. Two more before we get into our full table then. The first, which player of the season? Who are you going to go for?
I'm not an idiot. A man who's going to score 40 goals and probably get double figures assists is probably going to win it. Erling Haaland. Where's the debate? Yeah. There's no debate. There's no way someone's going to win it over him. If he puts up the numbers he did last year, there's absolutely... last season's PFA players and young players haven't been announced yet. Obviously, that's on the 31st of August. They'll be announced, but Haaland's going to win it, isn't he? Really, and I think
he'll do the same
this year.
Is he still under 23? So he could win. Yeah, he's probably going to get both then. Yeah, I was toying here. I had two names in mind. Obviously, Erling Haaland. The other one was obviously Ryan Brewster. I think he'll run him really close this year.
Yeah, I think he'll have a cracking season.
It was tight. I think Haaland will just edge it. So I've gone for Erling Haaland.
The reason I don't think Brewster will get it is because he's going to be so good in the first 6 months that you have teams like Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern, all lurking around. You do make a really good point.
Yeah, fair enough. So, it does make sense. I was going to probably put Brewster for top goal scorer, but just don't
injury
think
prone.
Possibly, if the defenders see how good he's for them, they might just snap him.
Yeah.
But so Haaland, player of the season. As I just pipping Ryan Brewster there. He's a good player, isn't he? He's a bit decent. Young player of the season. This is a bit more fun. I think Haaland will be 23. We're not giving it Haaland anyway. We're making our own rules here.
From one Norwegian striker called Haaland to another Norwegian striker called Højlund. I think United are going to have a very good season, and although I didn't put Onana for Golden Glove, I think he'll be right up there. I think Højlund is going to do a lot better than people expect. Yeah. I think your top goal scorers...
I was about to ask you how many do you think Højlund's going to get this year?
I think it'll be Haaland, Højlund, Jackson is your kind of...
Really?
Obviously, Haaland's going to be miles ahead of them.
Really?
But I'm going to get... Because I think, Kane's going to leave. If Kane leaves, obviously, then he's not in the equation.
Salah
maybe, but that front... Liverpool, so many forward players, they all kind of chip in with goals every now and again.
I do think Salah's output has reduced since Núñez, but if Núñez plays off the left and Gakpo or Jota through the middle, that still facilitates.
I think Brighton and Villa rotate too much, and obviously Newcastle...
And don't have a striker that can score enough goals.
And obviously Newcastle have Isak and Wilson.
I do just wonder whether they'll play Isak more this season, potentially.
Maybe. Jesus is injured for Arsenal, so he's going to miss the first few games.
He's also He's not a... What's it called?
Goal scoring striker.
Yeah. He's not a high volume scorer.
Yeah.
He's
so I think if you take Haaland out of the equation, I think it'll be between Højlund and Jackson. I'm going to say Højlund 17 goals. I think, and then Jackson.
My
15.
only thing for Højlund is that I think that Rash will be involved a lot. The thing for City is that their play style, as much as other players score, it's all adapted around let's get ball into the box, let's pick out Haaland. For United, they'll still have players like Rashford who want to get on the score sheet. I think Sancho is due a good year. I'm praying. I know I don't like United, but I do like it. At
that point, I'd like Højlund's one setting him up.
Yeah, another advantage is that Haaland can take pens, which Højlund won't. So I think That's the thing. That's why Haaland will score so
many. It depends if Højlund hit the ground running, because he hits the ground running 10 hours ago, we'll play him.
Yeah,
I think he will. I think he's going to be... I think that deal's got kind of under the radar. But I think he's going to be a really good player.
I would say under the radar. I think every United fan's going, well, I'm on board, but I would rather not.
Every United fan.
And then all the other fans are going 70 mil for some random guy from Atlanta I've never heard of.
70 mil is a big price, but that's just Brexit people from Manchester, from other
That's 90% of football Twitter who haven't watched anything outside of the Prem.
No, I'm going for Rasmus Højlund, young player of the season.
Fair enough. I'm going to go Nicholas Jackson. I think he's going to have a really good campaign. I'm excited for him. As I put him starting the season, going to put him. Interesting, you've not put Højlund starting the season then. So why would Gvardiol not win young player of the season? Just out of interest. PFA are biased?
No, I think it comes back to my whole goal scorer thing.
What, you think Gvardiol's going to score loads?
No, I think Højlund... The only reason Gvardiol won't get young players is because Højlund's going to score.
So if he gets the limelight more. Yeah, okay.
Whereas Gvardiol will only get signing the season because that's an award.
And when City win every single everything else, then they probably will give young players to someone different. I mean, Haaland's going to take it this year, I imagine. Probably just both do. I
think that shouldn't be allowed.
I was going to say, I think Young Player of the Season should be, this is your first season of men's football. So you've got to play at least, because you could, how do you define a season? Probably 10 games.
Or I'd just make it under 21 and you can't win both
because under 21, like Trent could have still won it 2 years ago and he'd already had 3 years, 4 years of professional football.
I don't know.
I'd rather see people like Lewis Hall fighting out for it, and players like that haven't played in the Prem.
Hall and Balogun having a fight.
Exactly. Well,
Nketiah.
Nketiah. Nketiah probably played 10 goal games.
And
he's also he's just 48 now, Eddie Nketiah.
He's 24.
Still doesn't count under 23.
True.
Yeah. Should we move on to our full tale predictions then?
Yes.
We'll start at the bottom. I'm excited for these. It's always difficult to predict the full table. It's always contentious. People will be throwing out road predictions in there. Please do get involved in the comments, by the way. Put your predictions in there. We want to hear from you guys. I've already seen some completely mental ones on Twitter from people who think that, I don't know, Luton are going to win the league. But we've tried to compile some decent lists. I feel like yours are going to be mental because you're probably going to say the Villa are going to win the league. But let's give it a go. 20th. How do you think we'll finish?
This is a great way to start because I think a lot of people go Luton. They're rubbish. Look at the playing squad. Look at the manager. Look at the fans. There is one answer for me and one answer only. It is Sheffield United.
Don't disrespect the Sheffield United fans. They're great.
No, not the fans. Sorry, I meant in terms of the squad, the quality, the ability, and the manager.
The fact that they've lost Iliman Ndiaye.
Paul Heckingbottom.
You don't root for Heckingbottom.
He's not going to manage a side that is not going to finish anywhere near. They're down. They're bottom of the league. They're done for.
They're also losing Sander Berge to Burnley.
They're losing Sander Berge. They've lost Ndiaye. Haven't replaced them all, and the season starts this weekend.
That's probably their best two players.
They're done.
They're not reinvesting the money really.
Billy Sharp, not even at Burnley, not going to keep
Sharp's
in the Premier
not
League.
in the. He's retired.
He has retired, isn't he?
Yeah.
Brewster and McBurney are not going to keep you in the Premier League.
That is their attack next season. I think they've got a couple.
I think Isoldic is a good player. I don't rate it Red Fotheringham. Sheffield United fan, come after me, but you're not staying up last.
I don't think Sheffield United fans will come after you. I think they're fully understanding that they will be last. I think
you've still got players like George Bulldog and Chris Basham battering around.
There's a lot of them joking that they will break Derby's points record. I've also put Sheffield United bottom.
I am not joking.
They're probably not either, to be honest.
6 points.
Yeah, I've put Sheffield United bottom as well. I just don't see them doing well this season. The problem for me comes, where do they pick up points? Because I even think that against Luton they struggle.
Also, they haven't got usually relegation trouble sides have one player that will stand out and keep them in the league. Everton, when he's not injured, it's usually Calvert-Lewin, who would score 10, 12 goals a year and keep them in the Premier League.
Yeah.
West Ham, Jared Bowen.
But also, they've not got loads of experienced players.
No.
And I know that's a similar situation with Luton, but Luton have that sort of youthful enthusiasm.
They either have never played in English football or the Premier League before, or they played 7 years ago. That's how it turns out. They've got Baldock and Basham, and then...
Who have Premier experience.
Yeah, they are. I think they're good. Tozic might do what he can, but that's a bit of a one-man defence there. They'll do all right, but I don't know.
I think they'll pick up some decent points. I think it'll be a very difficult season, though, for Sheffield United fans, if we're being honest.
Yes.
19th, who are you going for?
Now, this is why I put Julian Lopetegui to get sacked. I put Wolves.
Okay, why?
Right, I'm going to get... I'll first go through the actual reason and I'll go why I personally want them down.
God.
They've lost Neves.
Yeah.
They had a really poor year last year. Lopetegui's falling out with the board and he looks like he's going to leave anyway. I think it could be a similar situation to Steven Gerrard and Villa, but it'll be too late for Wolves. I think Lopetegui will put Wolves in such a horrific position that whoever they replace him with won't be able to keep him in the league.
My issue is I don't see Julian Lopetegui being a limiting factor. I think Lopetegui is a fantastic coach. I just worry that if the board don't back him sufficiently, because they've got a decent side. I'm actually really excited by Wolves' team. I think there's some really talented players in there. You know, Matthias Nunes seems to be a real baller. And they've got a couple others in there that are decent as well. They don't really have a striker right now. I don't think they've replaced Jimenez. I'm not sure on Sasa Kalajdzic. He got injured before the start of last campaign, so he hasn't played in a year. I just worry that Wolves will struggle to score goals. I think they'll do well. I think they're a really exciting team. Their midfield in particular is really decent. I just don't think they're going to be able to progress the ball forward and score goals. They've lost also, as you say, Neves, their captain. They've also lost João Moutinho. That's a big presence in the dressing room to lose. Connor Cody's now left the club permanently. I know he wasn't there last season. That's still a big player to lose. I think the problem is Lopetegui will leave or he'll get sacked by Christmas sort of time. So
I think that will be done by then.
Potentially. I also don't know who would want to take that job.
Yeah.
Because there's not a load of coaches on the market at that sort of... Maybe a Graham Potter, in which case that's not a bad addition. But
I don't think it'll go
what manager wants no budget and...
Exactly.
You know, not a squad that lacks experience. Yeah, I think they'll struggle, Wolves. I've not put them 19th, though. Not put them 19th. 19th, this one is going to shock a few people. I've gone for Nottingham Forest.
No.
I know, a lot of people won't be happy with this one. I'm prepared to take the backlash. I just feel that, similar to recent seasons, there's always that one club that does well in that first Prem season. The second Prem season, though, it all goes to shit. And a lot of people will say, Forest will be fine, they'll be high, because they like the story. They like Nottingham Forest being back in the Premier League. They watched them when they were kids. They like Nottingham Forest. I don't look at that Forest squad and think they are all that special. I think their defence is not sensational. Like, they've got Felipe in there, who's a good defender. He may have well left. I can't remember many of their backline, but Neco Williams, decent player. I also I think that Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson are great players. Taiwan Knee had a good end of the season, but unless they can pick up the consistency, they won't pick up enough points regularly enough. Last season, they didn't finish on enough points to stay up in a normal season. They were helped out by the fact that a lot of teams below them weren't good enough. And I think the teams in and around them will improve. I think Everton will have a vast improvement. I have no basis for that. I just like Sean Dyche. I think Bournemouth have recruited really, really well, and I really rate Iraola, so I think they'll climb. I look at the sides coming through. While Sheffield United aren't great, I think Burnley and Luton will both have a decent go at this. Though Luton's squad is worse than Forest's, I just see Forest slipping.
Fair enough.
19th. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I also quite like Forest. But based on a prediction, I'm going to go 19th.
18th then. Because we'll get onto the Forest later because I've not put them anywhere near the relegation zone.
Okay.
European, 18th. Come on. We're going for Europe. No, 18th. I've not gone for Forest, but I've gone for the similar idea of brilliant first season, crash back down to reality second year. Yeah. And I've gone for Bournemouth.
Nah.
No.
I need Bournemouth to do well for my dream of FM being realistic.
Yeah. So, last year was an absolute fairy tale.
Yeah.
Scott Parker is one of the worst managers to ever touch Premier League. And then he got sacked. Gary O'Neill came in and they were dreaming. He was picking up points left, right and centre. An absolute whale of a time. Like the Cherry Tree Vitality Stadium, whatever it's called, was absolutely rocking.
Yeah.
And they finished 13th, 14th in the end.
What, Bournemouth?
Yeah.
I think they slipped to 16th by the end of the season, but I might be wrong there.
Says it all. I think they're down. New manager in Iraola. He's alright. But again, I look at the Bournemouth squad. Yeah. They've got Billing, Solanke. It's just a few players on their day are good, but are just inconsistent. They lost Billing, didn't they? They lost Lerma. Lerma. That's the big one as well. But just a few players on their day who I don't think are consistent enough. I think they're down, and they still employ people like Ryan Fredericks, so they're definitely down.
I think Iraola, in a similar light to De Zerbi, is being underestimated. I think he's a really, really talented coach, and what he did with... Who am I thinking? Who was he at? Why am I completely blanking on where Areola was?
Deportivo?
No.
Somewhere in Spain.
Can't remember now. Yeah, it was in Spain. Rayo Vallecano, I think.
Yeah.
Let me check it.
Yeah, it was.
Sure yeah. Rayo Vallecano. But yeah, I think he's a sensational coach. I think he does really, really well. His team set up really well defensively. Good, decent go forwards. I also think the recruitment's been top notch for Bournemouth. They obviously added Dango Ouattara last window. They've also, since this summer, they brought in Justin Kluivert. I think that's a really good addition. And defensively, they've shored up a lot as well. Radu's a really good addition. I think Zabani obviously came last January as well. Milos Kerkez is joining from PSV.
Yeah.
They're all really exciting additions. I think they're building a really decent team. And I think this season they'll have a really good go of pushing up the league.
No.
But
no.
Guess we'll see. 18th I've gone Wolves.
They're rubbish.
I don't think they're rubbish.
Horrific. And they deserve to be relegated.
I think, as I said, there's some good players. Matthias Nunez, players like him. Lamina as well. I think, is he Wolves? He's a Wolves, yeah. He's a really good player. I just...
No, Southampton. No, Wolves.
I was going to say, it was at Southampton, now it's at Wolves. I think they've got some good players. I just don't know if they'll have the consistency to stay in the Premier League this season. And as I say, I think Julian Lopetegui will either get annoyed at the lack of budget and just dip, or he'll get sacked for having a go at the board.
And their mascot's rubbish.
No, what's wrong with their mascot? The Wolves fans kicking off at the mascot the other day. I found that so funny. Because they're just like grown men getting pressed over a mascot. But yeah, 17th, who have you gone for?
I've gone for Luton Town.
Jinx, I've also put Luton Town just to avoid relegation.
I think they'll do it by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
And the reason why is, now Pete, I'm going to first start with the stadium. Now people slag off the fact it's really small. But there's a reason it works for Luton, because it is a hell of an atmosphere. When the fans are that close to the pitch, it is intimidating.
Yeah, to be fair though, Luton Town's home away record is actually very, very close. It's not like they've won loads of home games and barely any away.
Yeah.
It's very
I think
similar.
Rob Edwards is a very talented manager, and it's not his fault it didn't work at Watford. It never works at Watford for anyone.
Yeah.
I think
I've also can I say quickly on the stadium? Yeah. I do think the Premier League will make more of a difference though, because it's a very different environment for Premier League players to play in. Because while they're used to dealing with the pressure, they've never been next to the fans.
It's not a 70,000 seat stadium where you've got a running chat between you fans. Jimmy's can flick your ears when you go for a throw in. That's going to put you off. Erling Haaland trying to play on that pitch.
Pitch is going to be improved, presumably, because they've got to abide by Premier League standards.
It is quite small,
a lot is changing. There won't be any training though, so they might turn up to just a bog.
Waterlogged pitch, yeah. But no, I think that in terms of actually quality of the squad, I think it's decent. I think it's alright. They've recruited well.
They made some good additions.
But I think it's going to be like AFC Richmond. It's going to be just belief and goodwill and faith and battling hard. That's going to keep them
That's the thing. I mean, if you look at that Sheffield United side from 2019, I think
they got like European football, right?
That almost got to Europe. They finished just outside the European places. That side on paper, let's be honest, should have been nowhere near there. But through a system that worked and through hard work and a good work ethic, Chris Wilder got a side that was able to fight in, like they finished 9th or 8th that season. So for Luton, while I don't think they'll reach the dizzy heights that Sheffield United did a couple of years back, I think they can still make a really good go of the relegation fight. I also think that in recent years, a couple of sides have been really lacklustre in the Premier League. So I think they can exploit that, the fact that there are some sides like Everton, for example, that are really struggling. I know we're both not put Everton in the bottom 3. Yeah. So it's a controversial take. A lot of people would have them right down there. Yeah, but I consider a certain for them. I just think there's a couple of sides that have been resting on their laurels recently, and I think they may get dumped out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
16th, then, who have you gone for?
Burnley.
Ooh, interesting.
I think they're going to stay up. I think Vincent Kompany is a very good manager. They've got a really good quality side. They've recruited well, like people like James Trafford. Quality goalkeeper. They've brought in some brilliant signings. They've got some really good quality players, and I think they have a really nice season.
Okay.
It might be. I think they'll start fast, and then they'll kind of drop off towards the end, but still do enough to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah. Fair enough. I like the Burnley team. I think they'll do well this season. They play a really nice brand of football. I think they'll definitely perform the best of the 3 promoted sides.
Definitely.
16th, I have gone Brentford.
Ooh.
I am going to catch some flack for this, and I'm well aware of that, because Brentford are a decent side. I just fear that without Tony, will they find the goals? And I know Johan Viss is a good player. And I know Brian Mbeumo's a good player. I just don't know if you can replace Tony's 20 goals this season. And even when he does come back in January, 1, he may not be the same player. 2, he might not be there. He may well leave in January. So I do have reservations about Brentford this season. I like them. I hope I'm proven wrong. I just think they can slip down the table. I don't think they'll be relegated or anything. Just think it'll be a year of regression. Tough start, they recover, or a good start and they slip off. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, I don't think they'll replace Tony's goals, and that's a massive problem. Because if you look through Brentford games, a lot of the time, it's a Tony penalty, or a Tony header, or a Tony goal of some description that saved them a 3 points, or saved them a draw, or something like that. So without him, I just don't know if they'll be able to get points so consistently, and therefore they may well be dragged into a relegation fight.
Fair enough.
But they are a good side, and I really like the model. I think they recruit really smartly. Their team is decent. I just have fears that they won't perform well on the pitch this season.
Fair enough.
But they'll turn that around because Brentford know what they're doing.
Yeah.
15th. Who have you gone for?
I've gone Everton.
Okay.
I just like Sean Dyche.
I know. I've got no basis. Because who they signed?
They've signed no one.
They signed Dan Juma. I think he's a decent signing.
What's going to happen is Sean Dyche is going to get Dan Juma run down the left, and they're going to kick it into the defender. It's going to deflect out for a corner. They put the ball in, and James Tarkovsky stood there, and he's going to head it home. That'll be their season. No basis for it. Everton 15th.
Fair enough. Yeah. 15th, I've gone for Fulham. I think people are really overestimating Fulham. They had a really good year last year, but they are... Even if Mitrovic and Marco Silva don't go, and I don't think Marco Silva will go now, I still think Mitrovic might, both linked with moves to Saudi Arabia. Even if they don't go, look at Diego Costa, when he was linked with a move to China, wanted that move, and then ended up, for the first half of the season, not really doing anything because he was trying to force a move away, eventually left in January. I think Mitrovic could be in a similar situation.
Yeah.
I also worry, because obviously at the end of last season picked up 8-game suspension. There's every chance that happens again, because Mitro does like shoving over refs. Yeah. I think the Fulham team is fine. I don't think they'll be at the dizzy heights they were. If you look at the statistics, they massively overperformed in a lot of areas last season. A lot of that was to do with Bernd Leno making a lot of saves, and he had a really good season. But I don't know. I like Ambassi, that's a good addition. I just don't... I think if Mitrovic doesn't score with the same regularity, and they've lost Solomon, they've lost Willian, I just don't know if it's going to go well next season for Fulham.
Yeah, I'm in a very similar boat. I'm putting 5th, you put Fulham, I'll put them 14th. Okay. Again, just kind of similar points, but I do think they should be thrown out of the league for designing probably one of the worst home kits we've seen in recent years.
And the away kit, by the way, want to apologise. We slagged that off on the show because we saw a leaked version. The actual away kit, Peng.
I don't care. The home shirt is disgusting.
Fair enough. But yeah. 13th. No, 14th, sorry. Is it me?
Yeah.
It is indeed. I've gone Burnley. A lot of people are pushing Burnley up. Sort of top 10, just outside the top 10.
Too far.
Vincent Kompany's going to do what Marco Silva did. And while I think that's a possibility, I just think they'll have a fine season. Nothing too spectacular. I think they'll actually start really strong. I think they'll lose to City on opening day. That's not too bold a prediction there. But I think they'll start the season strong. I think they'll be in the top half come Christmas time. I just worry that's not sustainable throughout the second half of the season. I still think they lack a really proven Prem goal scorer. I think Lyle Foster will do all right this season, which is a bit of a bold prediction in itself.
Yeah.
I think that Jay Rodriguez, obviously, back in the Prem, things we'll have to see. And they've got some good players, Burnley. I really like their team. The brand of football they play, as I've said, is really exciting. And I think they will batter the teams around them. I just worry about their ability to punch up. Because we saw how City absolutely tore them apart in the Premier League. In the FA Cup. And while they have added a few more players, so they could take on some of the bigger teams in the league, I just don't know if that'll be enough, really, to to take points consistently off the big clubs.
Opening end season will be a big teller. But
yeah.
13th. Now, this is a bit of a random one. I've gone Nottingham Forest.
I think it is too random. I think that is a fair prediction. I've gone rogue by saying they'll go down.
The reason I've put them here, I'll be honest, is because I kind of forgot that they were a football team. I did the relegation zone and went, okay, I did the bottom half, did 3 promoted clubs. I think Bournemouth are rubbish and Wolves deserve it. I hate the Fulham kits, let's put them down there. And then, Everton will be at that. And I kind of went 13th, Forest, why not? I think they'll go pretty missing this season. Awani will just score some goals, Johnson will get some assists and score some goals. They'll go a bit missing, but they won't mind that. It's a bang average mid-table Premier League season finish. They'll have back-to-back-to-back seasons in the Premier League, exactly what they want. We'll probably see a few moments on Sky or whatever channel it is where the City ground will be rocking or booing or doing whatever it does. Mid-table, bit of a bang average season for Forest.
Fair enough. 13th, I have West Ham. I think West Ham will be in the relegation zone come Christmas. I think on Christmas Day, I'll be sat there going, West Ham are going to go down this season. I don't think they'll be bottom. I think Sheffield United will be. But they'll be just above that.
Yeah.
I think they will recover it massively second half of the season. For two reasons. One, they'll sack David Moyes and bring in a new manager. And two, they'll probably still be in Europe. So they could attract a good coach. And they're also going to invest money. Because if Karen Brady and Gold and is David Gold, are they still involved? I don't really know what's going on at West Ham.
His daughter take over?
Potentially, in which case they might be going, well, we are not letting West Ham go down.
Yeah, no.
We cannot allow this. And the fans, we've said it before, they will run on the pitch. They will attack Mark Noble, possibly, if he's there.
Yeah.
They will make a stand, and I think that will get through to the owners who will invest money. If they haven't, they should buy some players soon. They've got to, really. But I think they need to bring in a coach who can play with the likes of Lucas Paqueta, who can make those players click. Gianluca Scamacca's not a bad signing. He is when you give him to David Moyes.
Yeah.
Because David Moyes is very similar to Sam Allardyce of the last... Like Sam Allardyce's great early career. I'm talking like last part of his career, when he just kept bringing Defoe to every club he was at. And people like that. Moyes needs his proper British footballers.
Yeah.
Those people that know what they're doing, been around the block.
No,
he needs his Yakubu. Used for Sam Allardyce. That equivalent. That's what he loves in Antonio. He likes those players. With his technical players, he doesn't know what to do.
Give him his field.
Because his style of football is, we've got the ball, fucking launch it.
And we'll clatter into them when you don't have the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like they're going to get Ward Prowse now.
No.
Which means he's going to be playing for Southampton, so he's going to knock off a ridiculous amount of goals. Did he get one there, opener?
No, he got an assist.
He got an assist, that was it. So he's going to get so many contributions next season. Either way, West Ham, I think they'll recover a massive second half campaign. I don't think they'll go too far in Europe. I think they will get out of the group in the Europa League. But after that, it's going to be a bit difficult for them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm going quite similar. You put them 13th, I put them 12th.
Good year or difficult start, or other way around?
I think it's just going to be very messy in terms of the Premier League, but all eyes will be on what they do in Europe. Similar to last year.
It could provide an upset.
Similar to last year, when they were kind of going on the Conference League run, everyone kind of didn't pay attention to what they were doing in the Premier League. But I think it'll be similar. Bang average, mid-table, no one's really too bothered. Maybe do something in the Europa League. Yeah,
my only sort of complaint there is I think that when Liverpool in the Europa League, I just can't see.
They might not win
West Ham. Fair enough. I can't see West Ham winning it, but
they make it to the quarters.
Decent run it. I mean, they got to the semis.
I just want to see David Moyes singing "Bones on Fire" and he's shagging Danny Dyer.
I want to see Danny Dyer singing Danny.
Yeah.
Bones on Fire and shagging Danny Dyer. That'll be good. 12th, I've gone Crystal Palace. Similar situation to West Ham, really. I love their squad. I absolutely love their squad. There's some fantastic footballers in there. I'm worried they might lose Elise, which would be bad for them. But they've got a really, really decent side. They've just signed Matthias França as well, which is a fantastic pickup. They've got players like Eze, they've got Edouard. They've got a really decent team. And I think they'll do cheap Decore as well. They put a 90 mil price tag on him, which I think's justified. Lerma as well. Yeah, it's a decent side. I really like Gerhard Andersen as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they're going to lose too many players as well, which is crucial. But Roy Hodgson. Why?
I like Roy.
He did work the back under last season, but I don't know.
He works.
Man. I don't know.
He's
70 odds.
I love Roy Hodgson.
I want a good young coach to get a go with this side and to actually see if they can play some really nice football. Because Hodgson's football, it works, it gets results. I'm just not
standing for this Roy Hodgson hate.
I think Palace have a squad good enough to get European football.
Yeah.
If that Villa side can get European football, if that Brighton side can get European football, there's no reason that Palace side can't.
Yeah.
Just my personal opinion, I think Palace are great. I just don't think Roy Hodgson's a massive limiting factor for me.
He is.
But he kept them up last season, so they won't complain.
For 11th, I've gone Palace.
Oh, okay.
This one is similar to my Everton, just bit of better quality. So Everton, I put them 15th just because of Sean Dyche. Palace, I put 11th because they've actually got a really good quality squad, as you said. But they have Roy Hodgson. I love Roy Hodgson. What a legend. P11 for Palace. Basically what you said, they've got a really strong squad, but I do like Roy. Yeah,
11th. This, before you cut me in the conversation, I've got no basis. Everton.
Yes.
Everton. I don't know what it is. I've just got this thing. I want to see Everton back fighting up there.
Does what he does, doesn't he?
They're a side that have always been in the Premier League. Since they're one of the only remaining 6 founding members of the Premier League in 1992. I'm desperate to see them get back up there. The Everton-Liverpool derby at the moment is very meaningless because Liverpool just trounce them.
Yeah.
Let's get that derby back.
Yeah.
Let's get Everton back up there. I think, while the recruitment has been non-existent, I do think they've got a decent side. I think Danjuma is a great pickup.
Yeah.
Really good pickup. I think, their defence is strong. Tarkovsky is a good player. They've got Michaelenko. If Godfrey can actually stay fit for a full campaign, he'll be sensational. Patterson as well, if he can stay fit. Mina's gone, but...
Oh, that's good.
Other than that, the really strong defence. I really rate players like Onana. I think he's really good. I do think they have a problem with goals. I think they've got a problem with goals.
But if DCL can stay fit.
If DCL can stay fit, if Danjuma can start chipping in more...
Andros Townsend.
I don't know. Maybe everyone can make a go of this. Who knows? Have they signed anyone else that I'm forgetting about?
I would just like to... I know I put him 15th. But Goodison Park...
Yeah. It's on Ashley Young.
Yes, great deal.
What a pickup.
That is it.
They made 2 signings.
But Ashley Young... No, Goodison Park... If they are winning...
If Ashley Young's roaring, they'll fly.
That'll be on fire. Yeah. Honestly, that will be bouncing. Goodison Park will be rocking if Everton are winning.
Dwight McNeil as well.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. I also think that Andre Gomez could potentially be back. If they can get Dele Alli back. I just think there's a potential for Everton.
Break his leg?
Surprise people.
Andre Gomez,
yeah. That was the Son challenge.
Oh, yeah.
But he's been recovering since then.
Oh, is he not back? When's he back?
Don't know. He was out on loan last season at Lille, but he did well. For me...
He broke his leg.
We did break his leg.
Then he went
on loan.
Fixed now.
On loan, yeah, it was a couple of years ago. He made 26 appearances in League One last season with Lille. I think he should come back from loan and be played.
Use him.
He's done. I think he's played from pre-season.
Sean Dyche
I'm not. Surely.
Don't know how Sean Dyche.
Who knows? But yeah, I think they've got a really decent team. And I think Jordan Pickford's a good goalkeeper as well. So for me, Everton 11th. It's a rogue one. Have your way with me in the comment section, people. 10th. Who are you going for?
Winter top 10, I've gone Brentford, similar to last year.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think Mbeumo and Vista will be able to fill in for Tony until January, and then they'll come back and they'll fly. They might be a bit lower.
I'm going to get torn for my 16th.
They might be a bit lower than 10th before Tony comes back, but he might just come back, score 15 goals, and they'll be back to 10th.
Kevin Schade as well, do you think he can have a better season?
Yes.
Obviously, he came in
Shade
in January.
Yes. Historically on this podcast, he's been called.
In January, he was brought in. He didn't really do anything for the second half of the season, missed a lot of chances. But Brentford wouldn't have signed him if they didn't see something they liked.
Given a chance, while Tony's out, he could provide. I'm saying 10th for Brentford. Because apart from that, they're a very strong side defensively, especially with Ben Mee.
They've got a really nice opening defence.
Raya could be the question. There's question marks over David Raya, but they'll go replace him with someone else.
They've signed Mark Flecken, haven't they?
Oh yeah, they'll be fine.
I'm not 100% on Flecken though.
He's fine. No, he's not like going to be flat with hands. He's not going to stand like a stone.
He's also not going to be Raya, who was one of the best performing goalkeepers in the league last season.
I think Brentford will be fine.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, they've, as I say, really nice opening day fixture. They've got Tottenham. I think they'll win that easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10th. I've gone Bournemouth.
Oh no!
I love Anthony Iraola. I think he's a really good manager.
I'm relegating you, and you're putting him 10th.
They've signed. Their business, by the way, has been sensational. The reason I back them so much is because I want to believe that what you do in FM can be done in real life. Their business this summer is brilliant. They've signed Hamad Traore from Sassuolo. Good pickup. 20 million for him. Good winger. Justin Kluivert. Great addition. How on earth has that happened?
That's quite good.
I don't know. Roman Vivra from Lyon. That's a great pickup. That's a fantastic signing. Milos Kerkez. Great left back. And then Ian Radu has come in as well. He's a really good player.
I don't think it's going to work.
They signed Dango Ouattara as well in January. He looks really exciting. I think if Anthony Iraola can play the same brand of football he's playing in Spain over with this Bournemouth side, get him really up for it, I see no reason why they're not going to cook.
I kind of see where you're coming from. I only put Bournemouth 18th because Sean Dyche exists at Everton. I'd probably relegate Everton if Sean Dyche weren't there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm an Iraola.
Fair enough.
Iraola believer. Yeah. I'll back him. So yeah, I'm putting Bournemouth 10th. Not a load of.
Fair enough. 9th.
9th.
Me.
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Ooh. Okay.
So let's sit. There we go. Lovely. I think
you really don't like Ange
rubbish.
So just outside Europe, place off.
Well, technically 2, but it depends if you get into the cups and things, doesn't it? In terms of 8 gets you.
No, because Champions League this season. Because it's a new format, don't we?
Oh.
So 5 Champions League places for the league.
Oh yeah. Okay. colour-coded my different positions. That's really annoyed me. I got colour-coded in the wrong one.
I mean, obviously, that relies on our coefficient still being strong, but England are so far clear.
Since Ange Postecoglou got hired, I have said they're not getting Europe, and they won't get Europe because Harry Kane will leave, or he'll just be stuck there by, I don't know, force. Son didn't fire last year. I don't know if he'll start firing. Richarlison's a twat. Lucas Moore, Kulusevski's a bit hit and miss. I don't rate any of the defence at all. At the moment, Vicario or Fraser Forster's in net. And
you don't know who Vicario is, though, so you can't.
But come on, it's Tottenham.
I get that. They have just
Solomon, I don't rate. Who is Ashley Phillips?
He's a centre half from Blackburn. He's like 18 days where I am.
Right, okay.
St James Maddison, that's a really good addition.
Maddison's good.
Kuse's gone permanent as well.
But the defence is abhorrent still. They're still down to Spartak Moscow. I didn't realise they could do that. I thought they weren't allowed to buy people, but they've done it.
Devon Sanchez is allowed. Only Devon Sanchez.
They've still got a defence of Perisic, Dyer, Romero.
I think they've got to buy a centre half before
Longley.
August 31st.
And then Emerson.
Longley was alone.
Well, who? Tanganga.
Their centre halves this season are Ben Davies could play there.
Oh, Dyer,
Sanchez probably could leave. Roden could leave. Romero, Tanganga, I think is going to leave. And this child, Ashley Phillips.
They're done. No,
they have 7
Europe.
centre halves.
No Europe. They're rubbish. Honestly, they're abhorrent.
I think if they sell Kane, they'll bring in a centre half. And a striker.
Well, what good is that going to be? Because they're not going to score any bloody goals.
Good draw 0-0 every game. 38 points, that's decent.
They're down. Maybe.
Well, 38 points kept people in the league last season.
They're not getting Europe. I think it's not that I don't rate Ange Postecoglou. The Scottish League makes people look very overrated.
Does it though?
Yes, it does.
But there's a difference between Steve. You keep doing the Steven Gerrard comparison. Gerrard's football was terrible. He just said, "Go on, win," and they did because it's a Scottish league. But Ange Postecoglou's side plays a really nice football.
But all they did was say, "Go win."
And he beat Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's Rangers side, and they're also a good team. And he's a good manager. So I think Postecoglou's a much better coach than you're giving him credit for.
I don't think it matters.
I think they do really well.
Honestly, I think Jesus could go in there, make
I know shit all about football.
Make miracles happen, and they still wouldn't go anywhere. Honestly.
That's a miracle too far for him.
Exactly. They're not getting European football.
Okay. 9th. This is going to offend the footballing purists. I'll put Brighton there. I like Brighton. And I like De Zerbi. I think he's a great coach. I just think they'll have a drop-off year. I know obviously people talk about this endless talent pool. I don't think you can lose Alexis McAllister and just be fine. I don't see that happening. I think Mitoma will still have a decent year. I just don't know if he'll be as productive as last season. If Evan Ferguson doesn't hit the ground running as well, then they've got a slight problem there.
Yeah.
I think he probably might. Who knows? But I just think, I don't know, Brighton, there's no way they can have a good year. They've just lost their best player and replaced him with, they know they've outside Mohamed Kudus, in which case I might have to shut up because that's a great addition. But I don't know. Going to be interesting to see whether they're still really good. I also think there's a potential they lose De Zerbi. I don't think that's too far-fetched, especially if Chelsea get bored of Poch after a bit.
No, get bored. He's fine.
No, I do believe in Poch, as will become clear later in the video. But I'm not putting top, don't worry. But I do think there's a potential they lose to Zerbi.
Yeah.
And I just think there's got to be a drop off of Brighton. Surely.
Yeah, all right.
I'm pretty wrong. I really like Brighton. I think it's got some great players. They may also lose. Moise Caicedo doesn't look too likely now. But even if they do, they've got Billy Gilmore, so I don't know. Yeah, all right. Great team. I'm just throwing the dice. They'll be nice. They're a good team. I just don't know if they'll be as good as the top 8.
Yeah. All right.
Just outside Europe.
I think they'll be in that top 8. I've gone Brighton 8th, getting that Conference League spot. Decent season, but I think teams will improve.
Okay.
I think they'll be the worst of the European lot, but better than Tottenham because that's not hard, is it? Like, come on.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I can see him, Brighton.
Yeah. All right.
8th, I have gone Aston Villa. I think a lot of people are very excited by Aston Villa because they did all right last season, and I think people are going to fall into the same trap people did 2 years ago when they signed a load of good talent and go, well, they're going to finish in the Champions League spots. I think they're a decent team, and I really rate Unai Emery. I just don't think they're as good as the top 7. I think they'll play all right. They've got European football as well this season, which means that if they go deep in that, there's going to be a lot of minutes. There's going to be a lot of minutes.
People forget Villa finished 7th last year when Steven Gerrard was manager for months.
I 100% agree with that. They were I'd say the 3rd best team for the second half of the season.
Yeah,
I think statistics will back that up as well. I just don't know. I don't know how much of that was Unai Emery's come in, it's a new manager bounce, all that sort of stuff, and how much of it was Villa are actually here to compete. I think the signings they made this summer are ridiculously good. Diaby and Pau Torres, they are fantastic pickups. Yuri Tielemans, what on earth is going on there? Fantastic recruitment. On paper, it's amazing. I just don't know whether they'll be right up there. I still think they're going to get European football, and I think they will build on that in the years to come. I'm just not 100% whether they'll be right up there.
All right.
Because while Unai Emery's a good coach, he's often not done well in the league. In a lot of his seasons, but done really well in those cup competitions.
So that Conference League that Villa.
I think the reason they did so well in the second half of the season is because it was a bit more like a cup competition. He came in the January and he had 6 months where it's like, well, you know, everything he touched was amazing because he's better than Steven Gerrard. So, you know, I just don't know if those good times will keep rolling for Aston.
Yeah, right.
7th. Who have you gone for?
I've got Newcastle.
James.
Picking up one of the first 2 Europa League spots. Yeah. I think they'll drop off from last year. They might have bought in Tonali, but for me, with the added pressure of the Champions League and the 2 cups, they're going to rotate more, and that's where cracks will open. Because they are a very good side, but their rotation options aren't brilliant.
Yeah, for me,
especially defensively.
I am surprised people rate Newcastle as high as they do. I think they're starting to bring in some more talents, and they may well do that. They may well sign loads of players between now and August 31st. I was really close between putting Villa ahead of them and putting Newcastle Conference League. I really don't know with Newcastle next season.
I think they've got some rotation. Because who their defensive rotation?
Well, Trippier, the Rats Santino live from Rento, and that's a fantastic right back rotation. Yeah. Centre halves, they've not added anyone. I don't think.
Exactly. So they've got Lascelles.
They've got to sign someone. Well, they've got Shaw, Botman, Byrne.
Yeah.
I know Byrne starts left back, but he can come over, can't he?
Target.
Yeah, no, they've not added anyone. They signed some young right winger from
Harrison Aspie as well,
Gambia,
right back.
In January, but he's not stunning. Yeah. No. I think he's fine, but I don't know. He's out on loan at Swansea. He's played 1 game.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think Liverento's a great pickup though. Potentially, he's apparently set to join for £40 million. That's a fantastic signing, and I think he did really, really well as a rotation option with Trippier. As you say, though, the rotation's not great. Left wing, it's just Harvey Barnes and then Gordon, and I don't think Gordon's all that great. They lost out on Madison. That was a big acquisition for them. On the right wing, Jacob Murphy's your backup. And I like Murphy and what he brings to the side, but he's not perfect.
He's kicking.
Yeah, that's Tottenham. And that's Delaney. 2 strikers, that's fine. Isak, Wilson, they're both stunning.
Yeah.
If one of them picks up an injury, though, suddenly you've got 1 striker to compete in all competitions.
Yeah.
And if Goran Kowal hasn't gone out on loan, him as well. But
he's like a child.
He is a child. He's still a very good player, though, Goran Kowal.
Yeah, obviously.
But I don't know. I feel like it's a good side. I think Tonali's a good pickup. 80 million, though, that's completely overpaying, but they're Newcastle. I just don't think their side's actually as good as a lot of people say. And I think that there is a very good chance Aston Villa finish ahead of them. Because I think on paper, if you put aside the fact who the owners are, and don't think of Newcastle as this major side that finished Champions League football last season, if you look at the 2 teams on paper, I think Villa have got a better team.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they'll have that consistency in the league to finish ahead of Newcastle.
Yeah, like it.
Who have you put in 6th?
I've put Arsenal.
No Champions League football for Arsenal?
No Champions League football for Arsenal.
Hang on, I know exactly who you put top 5 now.
Because obviously I only found out that I didn't realise we had 5 slots, so I had a bit of mare there. And but sticking with it, I think similar to Liverpool last year, the Community Shield tells us naffle. They beat City because Stuart Atwell decided to play 13 minutes over. They got a deflected goal and they won on penalties, which is always pot luck.
Yeah, I mean Liverpool didn't win the league last season after winning the Community Shield, did they?
They got Europa League.
Well, yeah.
Arsenal get Europa League. I think it will crash back down to reality for Arsenal fans. They threw away their best chance, and I think last year could be their best chance in years to beat Man City.
Yeah,
we're going to see AFTV throwing chairs across rooms many times this year. You know, some classic lines that we can all repeat, like "He's done it again," or "Mopa, you're a cheat."
Every single fucking time. I think. I mean, people know I don't have Arsenal 6th because I've still got Tottenham to come, and they're not playing Champions League football. But I think Arsenal will have a drop-off this season.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. I don't think their success is as sustainable as people think. Champions League football as well is something I think they could go very deep in that. So, for me, they're going to have...
I don't know.
They're going to have more on their plate. I don't know. I just don't feel they're going to be right up there. They also dumped out the cups quite early as well, which helped them. So
yeah, they did play City in one of them, which says it all.
Yeah,
they got trounced with Rob Holding as Haaland. That's their problem. I've just found it out. Rob Holding his rotation because with Kiwior, but he struggled.
With Kiwior and Gabriel on the left, White and Saliba on the right, in the centre half position.
White's right back.
Well, Tomiyasu can play there, so they've got rotation options. They're not in too difficult situations. And then Timber could come is actually a right back as well, of course. So it's not bad for Arsenal. They've added a lot of quality. I think Rice is a great signing. That'll level up on the level.
I just think the teams will be better. It won't maybe won't be that they go. Maybe it won't be that they're worse. I think teams will just be better. I
also think. For Arsenal, a lot last season, it wasn't that they the games that they won comfortably, I think they'll still win those comfortably.
Yeah.
So those games they edged. A lot of time, the momentum of being up in the title fight edged them. Odegaard had some big moments. If he doesn't have a couple less moments and suddenly they've dropped a load of points. If Saka isn't as consistent as he was last season, if Martinelli isn't on absolute fire like he was last year, if Jesus' injury problems continue, I don't think Havertz can lead the line.
No.
So it's going to create a bit of a problem there. I also think they started to show some defensive fragility against City last season in particular. And I think if you've got more clubs that are playing really well, I think they could get exploited more often. I mean, even Chelsea scored against them. And Chelsea were shy.
Yeah,
there's no beating around the bush. Chelsea were terrible last season. And Madueke still scored in that game. So I just think Arsenal may be a bit more open.
Yeah.
Sixth, though, I've gone Tottenham. I think this is going to be a year of rebuilding, a year of putting in those foundations for Ange Postecoglou. I think last season was a travesty for Tottenham. They've got to build back from that. They've just brought in Ange Postecoglou. I really rate him. I really, really rate Ange Postecoglou.
Oh yeah, I don't. It's not I dislike Ange Postecoglou. I love Australians. I think they're the best people in the world. So I've got nothing wrong with him. Them. I think he's a decent coach. It's just Tottenham.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I put my Tottenham past aside. Tottenham hatred aside. I think they will do all right. I think they may lose Harry Kane, and that will take adjustment. But I think Manuel Solomon's a good pickup. Yeah. I don't know how Son will get on in a Postecoglou system, but he could start from the middle. I think Richarlison, people are writing him off. Had a difficult start to life at Tottenham last season. But he does fit this system. He really does fit the system. You look at how Kyogo Furuhashi played for Celtic last season. Richarlison can do that. Can do that role really, really well. I think Kulusevski, they'll get the most out of him as a creator off that right flank. He's not ideal for a Postecoglou system, but he can work there. I wouldn't even be surprised if he experiments with him in middle of the field.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see because Postecoglou, he's going to have some decisions to make. He tends to play with a fullback. How on earth he's going to do that, I don't know, because they've got Perisic. I think if Destiny Uji plays like he should, that'll be really decent. Pedro Porro is also too aggressive, too offensive to play as a right back, so good luck, Ange. You've got a job on your hands. They also, I think their midfield's strong. I think the midfield's really, really good. They've got Bentancur in there. They've got Yves Bissouma, who, don't get me wrong, really struggled last season, similar to Richarlison. I think he'll come in and be a lot better this year, though. Højbjerg's a great player as well. I really do rate Pierre Højbjerg. They've got a lot of talent. They've just signed James Maddison. He's also really good. I think Tottenham will have some really good games. I think they will still have some really difficult games. And until they've improved defensively, they will struggle. I could see them losing every day to Brentford.
Yeah.
I think, again, in those big games, they will lose.
Give Ange time.
But I think by the end of the season, they'll roll around in 6th place. They'll have European football, and Tottenham fans will start to go, you know what? This year went too bad.
Right.
God.
When I first did these predictions, I did not realise that we got 5 Champions League spots.
I'm not 100% on that either. I just know that we... Okay. So we are moving to the new Champions League format next season, which exciting times. So the 2 top coefficients in Europe get a place. Now, I don't know whether that will go to the side in the league that hasn't qualified with the highest coefficient, in which case, for me, it would probably be...
Mine would be Tottenham.
Yeah, mine would also probably be Tottenham, because I don't think Arsenal will play. But I think if the other solution is that it's the leagues which have the highest coefficient, in which case 5th place will be into Europe. I don't even know if UEFA have decided how they're doing it yet. But
okay, so we're just going off the basis in 5th place.
To be honest, that 5th place side will probably
get
it anyway, most likely. But who have you gone for?
Aston Villa.
Okay, unless you've passed Aston Villa, probably not. But
won it in 62.
Don't think that's in the last 5 years.
82. 82.
I was gonna say, hang on. Yeah.
But, okay.
Can't believe you're getting that wrong.
We have a strong Villa fan. Well, look, we know Villa fans really like our content. And this one's for you guys. Well, yeah, because I usually get angry at me, so I'm going to please them today. They're very good. They are just really good.
Yeah.
Really nice football. Really strong 11. Like, you look at it, Emi Martinez, world-class goalkeeper, World Cup winning goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Cash, Diego Carlos, Pau Torres, Konza, Mings, whoever want to play there. Brilliant. Moreno, left-back. You've got Kamara, McGinn, Luiz, Tielemans, midfield. It's just such a strong team. Diaby coming in as well. It is a brilliant team with a top-class manager who knows what it takes to win European trophies. I think it will all click for Aston Villa this year.
I think there's a cause for optimism.
Bouncing. Villa Park's be loving it. Emery at the wheel. 5th place. Who says no?
Well, I put 8th, so me. But
Alright.
yeah, you know what? Sure, I could see him being up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be Champions League football, but I don't think Newcastle will be Champions League football. 5th place, I've gone Arsenal. I think, as we said, that drop-off's going to come. I think they'll still get Champions League football due to being in the top 5, either through coefficient or through actually being there. I don't know. Have Tottenham been in Champions League in the last 5 years? Yeah, they were in last season.
Final
2016. Will that still count next season? I think that'll be the year 2 early, 2019, right?
Oh, maybe.
So that would just be out of coefficient. Potentially, then they're looking at only one season of Champions League football, couple Conference League appearance, a Conference League appearance, a Europa League maybe. I can't remember, or Champions League group stage. Either way, I don't think they've not gone far in the Champions League in the last 4 years, and obviously they're not in Europe this year, so potentially they won't get the coefficient. Either way, Arsenal in 5th. I think they'll get Champions League football. They are a good team, don't get me wrong. I just think they will lack that consistency this year. Last season they were helped out massively by the fact that no one challenged them, but Newcastle weren't too far off in the end. Would have been even closer if they didn't bottom the final day and draw with Chelsea. But I think with other sides pushing forwards, with other sides coming back through, I think they'll drop more points. Yeah. And I think they will have a more difficult time this season.
Alright, yeah.
They'll lack that consistency, especially if their big players aren't firing as they were last year, and if Jesus can't stay fit.
Yeah.
Because momentum was a big thing for Arsenal last year.
Yeah.
4th, who have you gone for the first of the traditional Champions League spots?
I've gone for Liverpool because I think they'll play exactly how they played towards the end of last season. They'll get top 4 easily. They'll play some really nice stuff, get some really good results across the line. They've recruited really well. I just think they did so poorly last year because they had a very abnormal start to the season. It just, for some reason, it went horribly wrong. I also haven't got Champions League to worry about. You opening with a piece of piss until they get to the latter stages. So they should be fine.
Yeah, fair enough. 4th, I've gone for Manchester United. It feels like putting them 4th is just a year of no sort of progress under Eric Ten Hag. And I'm not sure whether they will win anything this year. But I think they'll have another decent campaign. I still think there's issues to iron out. I don't like the fact that if either of Lisandro Martinez or Rafa Varane gets injured, they're suddenly looking at Lindelof, who I think is fine but not stunning, and then after that Maguire. And I think that is a problem that needs to be addressed. I think in other areas their team struggles for depth. I think if Casemiro was to get injured, they might as well quit their season because he's a real key component. I think their recruitment's been really good. Onana's a good pickup, Mason Mount's a great pickup, as is Rasmus Højlund. They're 3 really good signings. I think if Sancho can come back and play really well, that'll feel like a new signing for Manchester United. I don't know. I just think they'll be very similar to where they were last season. Good, but inconsistent.
Fair enough.
Because they had a good campaign last year, but they still lost 7-0 to Liverpool, and they still lost 6-3 to Manchester City. So
I'd say it maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think they'll do well in other competitions potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will win the trophy, but I guess we'll see.
Third. Chelsea.
I've jinx.
I think Poch has got something cooking here.
Okay.
And I think, again, Chelsea are a very good side. You look at the defensive numbers from last year, it was a horrific year. Mostly going forwards, mostly because very good, talented players were underperforming. But I think it all comes down to the kind of feeling and atmosphere at the squad. New manager, Ego's out the window. Squad's been cut down massively. We had Potter started, and then the fans got on Potter's back, and that went wrong. Then Lampard came as an interim. Horrific tenure. Nothing went right.
Yeah, fair enough.
I forgot that Tuchel started the year, and then it was an absolute mess. Tuchel starting the year complete.
Then Potter, and then
Potter, Salter, Lampard, all of them. Just nothing clicked ever.
Yeah, I think it'll be a much. Do you remember Maurizio Sarri at Chelsea? I imagine you do. 2019.
Obviously. Start
of the season, Chelsea were really good, right in the title fight for the first 10, 12 games of the season. Then it fell off from there. I could see this very similar thing happening. I think there's a chance we beat Liverpool on the opening day of the season. I'm not saying we will, just a chance. Find out on Friday with our Premier League predictions. But I think for me, Chelsea will do really well to start the season. Yeah. After Liverpool, our next real test is Arsenal in October. And they'll have Champions League in and around that sort of time. So they may well be starting to have a few injuries, maybe fit of fatigue, chance to beat them there. After that, we don't play City till November. We don't play United till December. I think we'll be right up there until around that October time. Then we'll start to drop a few points here and there. And then we'll pick it up again second half of the season. Maybe in a couple of editions in January.
Fair enough.
Based on our current ownership, you'd imagine so. But bit of new life. And I think Chelsea will do well this season. So, I do worry one or two injuries is a problem, but they've also got the deepest squad ever. Like it's so many footballers.
It might have been cut down, but it's still deep.
It's still ridiculously big, so that shouldn't be too much for a problem. I do have concerns about one or two players, but overall, this squad really excites me.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Chelsea will do well this season, and I'm excited by Poch. Yeah. I'm biased, but I'm excited by Poch. Right. Chelsea are a good team.
Fair enough.
Second in the Premier League.
Well,
I want to say top, really.
I think
because of the graphics of chronological order, second.
I think we are going to roll back the years to Saf versus Mancini and co.
You think Saf's going to replace Ten Hag?
City versus United, hammer and tong for the Premier League title.
Season.
All the way to the end.
We're getting an Aguero moment.
City will top the table at one point. United will top the table at others. As much as it pains me to say, I think United will come back swinging.
Okay.
They won't win the league.
No. So second.
But I think City will feel the pressure.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably trounce Burnley on Friday. But what I'm expecting a really strong campaign from Man United. Second in the Premier League. They've brought in a very capable goalkeeper. I think Mason Mount is going to go underrated. I think he's going to be firing. Rashford, Højlund, Sancho, Anthony, McTominay, Casemiro not getting sent off.
McTominay might go to West Ham, but
they won't miss him. Defensively,
you just listen to us while they're superstars. I know. Now they won't miss him.
I believe. I don't like saying it because I don't really like Manchester United. I think I can see them being right up there. They're going
to right to the end of the season.
They'll push City to the final game week.
I think City will also be pushed to the final game week. I don't think it'll be by Manchester United. Who's having the Aguero moment then for City?
It's not an Aguero moment. I think it'll be.
Haaland's got a spiral the final day and it's over.
Yeah, no. What it will rely on, United will be 3 points off, so they'd have to win and hope City lose by a certain amount of goals.
And City will be losing by that certain amount of goals, and Haaland will just score like 8 in the second half.
Or United won't win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I think they'll push them right to the wire.
Fair enough. Second place, I've gone for Liverpool.
Similar thing, but Liverpool probably more chance of you. I just fancy being different.
Okay.
We haven't seen anyone else apart from City, Arsenal, Liverpool out there in a few years.
Yeah.
Like, I know United was second like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't count that. They were nowhere near. Don't know how they were there.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it makes no sense to me.
I think Liverpool run them really close. I'm really excited about this Liverpool team.
Yeah.
I think that front three is really rolling back the years to that Mane, Firmino, Salah. Yeah. I think Gakpo is a good player. I think Diaz is a good player. I think Nunes is a good player. Yeah. I think that Jota's a good player, and of course Mohamed Salah is a sensational player. They've also brought in some more creative players. I think McAllister is a fantastic creator. I think that Szoboszlai is a really exciting player, and the fact he's got that ability to shoot from range means that there's some more facets to score from. They've also got Trent Alexander-Arnold now driving into that midfield role. I really like the Liverpool team.
Yeah.
And I think they will be up there. So I'm going to put them second.
Fair enough.
Champions then.
What do we need to say? It's Man City. They've got Erling Haaland.
We can share a graphic for this one because Man City, they're the champions. Look at the bottom of the screen. They're good, aren't they? They won the treble last year. They didn't win the Community Shield, so maybe they're going to bottom.
Boring.
Yeah.
Not in terms of the way they play. Them winning every year is dull. But what can you do when you've got Erling Haaland who scores 40 goals a year?
It's difficult to deal with, isn't it?
It is.
But
Is that it though?
It is.
That's a 23-24 season complete.
That is. Manchester City are going to win the league again.
I'm looking forward to this one. I can't wait.
I hope that we get a title fight.
It's a brilliant season.
As good as this afternoon.
Cracking moments, title fight, European fight, relegation fight, and the only team that have nothing to fight for is Sheffield United because you're crap.
I think that's a nice one. Nice note to end it on. But anything else to say? Well, we're live this weekend, aren't we?
We are.
For all the Premier League action and, of course, Women's World Cup. If you've been following our coverage of that, join us for that. But Premier League action, we're doing Manchester City versus Burnley on Friday. On Saturday, Aston Villa versus Newcastle. You excited?
Very excited.
Unai Emery's first chance to show off his new look Villa side. And on Sunday, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Poch versus Klopp. Going to be a good one. Make sure to join us for all the action over this weekend. The stream pages should all be on the channel in the next coming days. So look out for those. I am buzzing for this new season. Cannot wait, indeed. That's everything for today, though. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you're new, if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a comment, tell us your predictions, and subscribe if you're new around here. That is everything for today, though. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.